Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friends, welcome for another edition of the video productions by the Artelino company. What is the Artelino company? We are the online art auction site with the fewest viewers from the fewest places. And if you want to know why, sign up for an account. My name is Dieter. And in this video, I want to talk about a famous artist of the Shinhanga art movement, post-Shinhanga, we can say. I want to talk about Toshi Yoshida. In the first place, a little bit about his biography. Then I want to introduce a print that we have in the current auction. It's this print in the background, which shows ostriches, and it's actually a subject from Africa. I will tell you why a subject from Africa by a Japanese artist. And well, then I want to go a little bit into a tricky subject for collectors. How can you recognize, well, different versions of Toshi Yoshida prints, like limited, unlimited, signed, stamped, signed, yeah, even that exists. And at the end of this video, I want to give you a few general tips what to buy. Should you buy limited edition? Should you buy AP? And so on. Toshi Yoshida, he was born in 1911 in Tokyo, and he passed away in 1995. He was the eldest son of Hiroshi Yoshida. Well, if you're not familiar with Japanese prints, Hiroshi Yoshida, great master of the so-called, and now a new word again, of the so-called Shinhanga art movement. What is that? An important Japanese art movement from the first half of the 20th century. Art movement especially for printmaking. The style of his son Toshi Yoshida is a little bit, at first look, a little bit similar to the prints made by his father. But when you look a little bit closer, you will soon recognize that Toshi Yoshida has, well, his own handwriting with his art prints. Toshi Yoshida's prints are a little bit more colorful. I would also say a little bit, the subject a little bit less cluttered. Compositions are clearer, maybe a little bit more simplified, but not simple in no way. And Toshi Yoshida's print for collectors, they have one advantage. They are cheaper than those by his father. Well, the father Hiroshi Yoshida, well, the price level for his prints is very, very high. And the colors by Hiroshi Yoshida, his father, are often a little bit faded. I mean, at least those prints that you find in the market. Both father and son, they had two passions. Well, first of all, woodblock printmaking, and secondly, you can call both cosmopolitans. They liked to travel, and they were avid mountain hikers. And therefore, it's not unusual to find prints by both, by father and by son, with subjects not from Japan, but from all strange continents all over the world. And for instance, Toshi Yoshida, he has made a print series from Africa and even from the Antarctica. And of course, he did not take that from photographs. Yeah, he liked to travel, and he was actually on the spot. Yeah, and this is an example. It shows a herd of ostriches in Africa. The title of this print, offered in the current auction, my friends, is in Japanese, Dacho, in English, ostrich. Yeah, this is what it shows. It shows ostriches. Ostriches are found in Africa, and oh, they look funny, long legs, but they don't really look like being very fast. Wrong, my friends. They are incredibly fast. They are among the fastest animals that you can encounter in Africa. They are fast up to 70 kilometers per hour. For you guys in the US, that corresponds to 43.5 miles per hour. Toshi Yoshida was especially good with this African series in showing herds of animals running by catching them in this running movement. Yeah. Take a look at a few other animals from the African series. We showed you a few at the beginning, and at the end we'll show you a few more, and you will recognize, you firmly have this impression of movement. You think you are right in the picture. By the way, I assume that Toshi Yoshida was on one of these typical photo safaris in Africa, where I was myself in the late 1970s. And this print was published by the Yoshida family, Yoshida Studios. They published everything themselves, already the father, in 1984. So I assume Toshi Yoshida was on a photo safari like me in the late 1970s. Maybe in the early 1980s, I don't know. Could maybe find that information on the internet, but sorry folks, I was too lazy for that. Anyway, and then took great photographs, and when at home, he transformed these into wonderful woodblock prints. This is a limited edition, a rather large edition of 1,200, which shows how popular the prints by Toshi Yoshida were and how popular they still are. The print is signed here in pencil, Toshi Yoshida, and it's in excellent condition. Let's now talk about the different versions, editions, options you can find with prints available in the market and, well, in common for Toshi Yoshida prints. Well, first of all, there are those which were printed, pulled, is the expression, at lifetime of an artist, at lifetime of Toshi Yoshida, versus those which were printed after his death. All people call prints that were printed, pulled after the death of an artist posthumous. So this is the first option you can have. And of course, a posthumous print can never have a handwritten signature by the artist. Yeah, okay, that's logical. No, is it? Yeah, it is. Second option, open edition versus limited edition. Well, this print with these African ostriches is a limited edition. I told you we have it in the current auction, and a limited edition must always have the edition size and the specific number written nearly always in pencil, and usually always on bottom left, sometimes on bottom right, but usually on bottom left. And here you have it for this African design with the number 16 out of 1200. Well, this is a limited edition. An open edition doesn't have this limitation. I'll show you an example of that. Also a wonderful print. I told you before, well, the Toshi Yoshida is so strong, well, in capturing the motions of these animals. Of course, I'm sure that presumably the photograph that he took helped him to do that. And well, there you see, this is the signature, and here I think that's the date. I cannot read it very well. And here's the title in Japanese and in English, but no editions. And this is a so-called open edition. That was the second option. The third option, hand-signed signature versus stamped signature. Huh? Stamped signature? You will be surprised if you're not familiar with the art scenes and with art prints, that something like that does even exist. I mean, you would expect, of course, if something is signed, it's signed by the artist. It ain't necessarily so for Japanese prints, my friends. There are a few exceptions, and for Toshi Yoshida, you can find prints that have a stamped signature. And this stamp looks pretty much as if it was really hand-signed. For an expert, for an art dealer, it's well recognizable, but for a non-professional, not necessarily. Why does a hand-signed version of an art print by Toshi Yoshida exist at all? Did the Yoshida family try to cheat us? In that case, no. There was a very specific reason. I told you that Toshi Yoshida died of cancer, and during the end of his life, he was too weak to hold a pen, and therefore the family created this stamp and that imitates his signature and stamped it. However, it's not only the stamp that is recognizable for an expert. There's another indicator where you can clearly recognize whether it's a stamped signature or not. And I will show you at the end an article where I show you how to identify that. So it's not an attempt by the family to cheat people, but of course, a Westerner cannot read Japanese, and it's not so easy. Actually, it's good to have an expert and to have good descriptions that you can trust. Well, this the option number 3. Then option number few. There are also, of course, like for nearly all artists, you can find in the market prints that are marked as AP. AP stands for artist proof. And artist proof originally is meant something, a proof for the artist that he can assess the quality before the limited edition is printed. However, often APs are also used to extend a limited edition over the original size. Anyway, you can often find quite a lot of APs, artist proofs, in the market. By the way, we also made a video about this subject, and you can also find an article about this subject on the Artelino website. Nevertheless, all these different editions, versions, options, they are all from the original blocks. I've never seen or heard of any Toshi Yoshida prints from recut blocks. That means from newly cut blocks after the original design, because these are, in the understanding of collectors, these are reproductions. So to my knowledge, reproductions do not exist. Okay, and now I show you the article on our website. You find all our articles here in this main section, education. It's for the educations, my friends, and here under articles art, and then type in Toshi Yoshida, or you go to Google and type in Toshi Yoshida. The artelino articles usually can be found among the first hits when you go to Google and type in just the artist. Anyway, and here now we have to scroll down. There's a chapter, editions and signatures. Yeah, and there you find what I just tried to get across as a message. And here this is an example of a printed signature. And here you find the clue how to, can you see it? Yeah. how to recognize quite sure what is it, a stamped signature or not. This is how the the Yoshida family identified this. At this point of our little discussion, my friends, you will ask yourself not where shall I buy Toshi Yoshida Prints. This is crystal clear, of course, from Artelino only, artelino.com, of course, yeah. No, but you may ask yourself, which print should I buy, limited or unlimited, at lifetime or posthumous? And I now want to give you 5 simple guidelines. And these guidelines not only apply for Toshi Yoshida prints, but for art prints in general. Let's start with the number 1. Limited and numbered is better than unlimited. I repeat, limited and numbered is better than unlimited. Second, numbered is better than AP, artist proof. Sometimes on the internet, on some trash sites, you might find precisely the opposite. Don't be fooled, it's wrong. Okay, again, numbered is better than AP. Third, signed is better than unsigned. Number 4, hand signed is better than a stamped signature. Signed by hand is better than the stamped signature, which you will find not very often, but from some artists, and Toshi Yoshida is among them. And number 5 of my simple guidelines, printed during the artist's lifetime is better than posthumous. I repeat, printed during the artist's lifetime is better than posthumous. And why these simple guidelines, and why do I say better? Yeah, because it's a difference in value, and the difference may be huge. Okay, wow, this was a huge video again. I'm a little bit talkative, I know, but I hope in this video it's not only fun, but I could get across some valuable information for collectors of Japanese prints, especially if you like Toshi Yoshida prints. And for even more details, go to the website of artelino.com and check for our articles. Well, if you want to have some information about especially Japanese print artists, can go to Google, type in the name of the artist, and then usually you should find the Artelino website among the first 10 results. If not, then something went wrong with the Google algorithm, can happen sometimes, and you can find some trash sites among the first 10 and not Artelino. Well, then type in the artist's name plus the word Artelino. Got it? Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks for your patience, my friends. And don't forget to bid in our auctions. Go to our catalog, www.artelino.com, and take care of yourself. And see you again for our next video in 1 week from now.